So who would you say has sort of spiritually invested in your life?
Yeah, so as a younger man and as a younger Christian, I would say my youth leader Steve in my teens, just become a Christian, and he was one of those people, a group of people maybe, but he was more intentional with me, helping me to grow in my faith and know how to follow Jesus. And he was great at giving me opportunities as well to grow and even to step up. He even gave me an opportunity to preach when I was still in my teens. So that was quite amazing. And then more recently, John, helping me in Christian ministry, learning how to be a leader, learning how to be a disciple of Christ and to be a disciple maker. So yeah, John, definitely. How about you?
Yeah, I would say in the early years was the minister Pete. I think he really loved us as young people, but he also modelled how to love his family, his wife and kids. And he was a very genuine guy, a real man of integrity, man of great faith, bold faith, but also gave us the opportunity to ask questions, ask the more difficult questions of faith. And then a little bit later, more on a personal one-to-one level, was Diane. In my 20s, she sort of came alongside me and lived life with me, lived faith with me, but also asked me sort of some hard questions, some challenging questions that would motivate me and spur me on in my faith. So why, Geoff, would you invest in others then?
Well, quite simply because I needed it myself, and so I think we need to see people modelling the Christian life. It's much easier to catch a hold of something when you see it happening in somebody's life, and not just hear the teaching. So that's one reason. And in the Bible, you've got that sort of clear precedent from Paul to Timothy. Paul, the older guy in the faith, talks to the younger man, and the younger man in faith as well. And Timothy, Paul was investing in him and helping Timothy to grow and to live the Christian life and to live in Christian leadership as well. I think of my own role as a father with my own children, and what am I trying to do? I'm trying to help them to make good choices, to live wisely, to know how to develop and grow as well. So I think there is that dynamic when you think of the parent-child kind of situation as well. So that's another reason to kind of think of that investment and why we invest.
And actually, like practically, we've tried to help our children to, I don't know, like cooking. We've given skills so that they can, when they leave the home, they can cook on their own. They're not going to come back to us and expect us to feed them all the time. Equally, spiritually, we're trying to invest in them so that they can become independent of us. Like babies, babies have milk and they need to be carried initially, but eventually we want them to be able to walk on their own and feed themselves. So we do want people to grow in faith, but they do need nurturing initially. But then there's no such thing as sort of spiritual grandchildren, are there? That they need to have that father-child relationship themselves and to become independent of us, but more dependent on Jesus.
And I think we grow as we invest in other people as well, don't we? We kind of need that actually. We can stagnate in our own faith, but if we are investing in someone else, it's like we're then sort of in this kind of fishbowl effect, where they're observing our lives, observing the way we live and what decisions we make, what choices we make, what the values we live by. So yeah, it's very important for our own growth to be investing in other people.
And Titus 2 speaks into this. I don't know if you remember, there's a preach at our church, and the guy was looking at Titus 2, and you recall that Paul is talking to Titus, and he's saying, Titus, you need to live wisely. You also need to help the older men and older women to live wisely, and you need to help them to help the younger men and younger women to live wisely. And he got the over 45s to stand up, and I'd just turned 45, and he said, you're the older women and you were there, you're the older man. But he said, look around, there are people here sort of younger in their faith are are you willing to invest in them and help them, because this is your time to do that? And I think we can be sometimes a bit self-absorbed, a bit selfish, and I want to be invested in, I want to grow, and it's good to grow, but we also need to look around and how can we serve, how can we help others on their spiritual journey. We need to really step up.
Yeah, that's right. And I think that's a great way of approaching church and the church community. It's not to go with the sort of mindset, what can I get out of this? But what can I give? Who can I invest in this faith community that God has placed me in? It's a different kind of perspective, I think. And just going back to the Paul and Timothy model, that verse we love is 2 Timothy chapter 2 verse 2. And Paul says to Timothy, and the things you've heard me say in the presence of many witnesses, entrust to reliable people who will be qualified to teach others also. And so that sort of idea that Paul is investing in Timothy and saying, right, you go and take it to other people, pass it on. Don't keep all the good stuff to yourself. Keep passing it on. Help other people. It's not supposed to be just for yourself. So I think there's many reasons why we should invest in younger people, and I love that verse to kind of conclude this sort of idea really. So great stuff.